Hello, I'm John Joe. Welcome to Line War. Today we have a team game between Imphenzia and Antidote versus Bigler and Desiring Mars. So, by the looks of it, Bravo team, sorry, I've got this backwards at the minute. Bravo team is focused on this section of the map. They want the center island, which is understandable. Most of the energy on this map is to the left, but the main island is the center. They've got a lot of cities on there and eco spots and some energy as well. From Alpha Team's perspective, they are also starting on this island. Over here, we've got Bigler on this section, and we've got Desiring Mars here. So this is a very close start for both teams. So I'm just going to speed up time so we can actually get into the part where they start building. There we go. So Fog of War off. Let's have a look at what commands they're going to put down. It's interesting to see how many players actually put down the commands first, especially when it's so close. Because generally speaking, I would say it's more important to get the production up and running first. But we can see how tight quarters this map is already, especially for Alpha Team. They are building right next to the coast, which is very difficult to defend with in the late game because of the Navy battles. If you can't control the ocean, you're going to lose on land too in this situation. But Imphenzia is bringing their units around here. They've kept some to expand up in the north over here. Bigler is doing a retreat to start with, waiting for Desiring Mars to come in and try to back him up. He's set down some defenses, which if I see this happening and I'm playing the game, I usually try and rush it. Because as units build their defenses, they lose health. They will gain the defense once built, but that loss of health will also negate that bonus a little, so that's why I'd usually rush it. But this early, it might not be so good to take that risk. I'm not sure. Either way, Desiring Mars has now reached him, and he is now confident to push forward. Antidote is going mostly for barracks. He's getting one navy yard up, and Imphenzia is going for a fair bit of eco. So we've got 3 industry, an airfield, navy, but only one one factory, and 1 barracks. So he's only got 2 ground-based production structures. Over here, it does look like Imphenzia and Antidote are doing good for the first bit of engagement. However, Bigler has gone into a lot of factories here, so they're going to be able to use artillery, which is a great counter to infantry. If you're using infantry, you can beat artillery, but you cannot do it through a choke point like this. You need a big open map and go around them, basically. Avoid the main army and just go for the structures. Or chip away at any strays that come out, but you can't do that on this. So Antidote is actually retreating a little and only supporting on this side against Desiring Mars, but the artillery are firing over this meat shield. So they're getting a lot of free kills in this. And now a helicopter's been produced, he has been sent in, and they're going to be tackling these artillery. But as you can see, Bigler's already switched into Sam. He's going to be able to defend from this pretty quickly. Desiring Mars has gone for 3 barracks, a factory, a bit of eco, and is also going for a navy yard, claiming these energy wells over here. He's going to be contesting Antidote over here for those energy wells. On the other hand, the town over here is quite exposed to this one when it starts producing and coming out this way. But I didn't even notice this. We've got a territory coming out from over here. I think Desiring Mars actually crossed the water in the picking phase and has a group of units collecting the island down there. Up in this section, though, it looks like Bravo team are going for the defense now, trying to set up all these defensive lines. It hasn't really worked because of the artillery. With Antidote having absolutely no artillery, when he sets up the defense, the artillery units come over and they're just able to outrange them. So it doesn't matter about their defensive bonus, it just slows them down a little bit more, that's all. With infantry, you really just need to try and rush in on top of these units. But you need to make sure you've got enough, so maybe pull back. Maybe even just to the front of these structures here. Wait till they come forward. Then Imphenzia can push through at the side with his artillery, because these units will be in a line. You can sort of take out a couple at a time, while Antidote tries to slow down the main army with a full force. Imphenzia is going for a defensive line over here, though. So maybe he will be able to push forward. That line may extrude a bit too far, though. Let's have a look at their plans. I can't see too well with these command lines, so I'm just going to switch it to individual players. We've got Bigler, who's literally going to try and kill Antidote. Desiring Mars is focused the same way. So both of these players are not going to try and take down Imphenzia. Imphenzia is literally just trying to defend Antidote over here. So as units come in and fill this line over here, they're going to move onto this way to try and get in front of this army. Antidote is just trying to control the front line, doing a really good job using infantry actually, trying to use these blue lines as a formation line because it spreads out your units more. With infantry, it means you're going to get your front line force. Probably better if it was an orange line in this case though. Retreating on the blue lines is good, it means no one's going to stray off forward. And Desiring Mars has gone for 2 navy yards now and already has an energy well set up and ready. Whereas Antidote is still working on theirs, but does have enough energy to support their navy for now. Helicopters are being brought up round to the top part of the map. And the town has been destroyed. Did I miss that? I think these helicopters came round and struck down here. As the SAM units moved up here, they sort of tried to find other points of interest there. And Imphenzia's got a cruiser right next to these navy yards. And they're going to be trying to put some pressure there, but there's 2 cruisers, they're going to repel them. But at the same time, Antidote has brought down some destroyers to try and take on this energy well, while the cruiser is distracting the other units. Unfortunately, the cruiser isn't going to get enough damage on that energy well, but can the destroyers destroy it before the other navy take them out? There's only 1 destroyer left now. And it doesn't look like it, he's targeting the actual ships. There we go, so that energy well does survive. Imphenzia doesn't have a good enough army to try and save Antidote in this situation. But Antidote has crossed the water here, so they're not going to be out of this game if they can build something over here. Desiring Mars was on this island. They're doing anything else? It looks like they've just claimed the land and they're happy there for now. Another cruiser's come around to the left side of the map. But Antidote is out of energy very soon. So they're going to have to try and work out something there. They can't place anything in the water here. Desiring Mars has control of the waters there. Unfortunately for Antidote, these units are tearing through his base. He's not producing enough units to try and hold them off, which isn't his fault at this point. He just couldn't handle the artillery using infantry only. But he is trying to switch into artillery, but at this point I think it's a little too little too late. He kind of just needs to evacuate this island before they destroy all the structures, and then he'd be out the game. Imphenzia is trying to push through, trying to break a little hole into the reinforcements, but as the reinforcements come in, they're actually being diverted towards this way instead. So from their perspective, are they doing that on purpose? Yes. Desiring Mars is sending their units this way instead. They've got these units up here just going around that way, but any more units are going to go against Imphenzia. Bigler is not doing it on purpose. The units are just trying to go for Antidote for a different direction, and the orange lines are catching them there. There goes the energy depot, and the last of his structures over here. He's got a sub-pen being built over here, so that will save him even after this navy yard is gone. Now Imphenzia is going to have to pull off one of the best defenses in this game, I think. And we've got all these units from 2 players with the bonus eco that you get for an individual player, plus the resources they're getting from this island, from Desiring Mars, and the ocean territories is getting. Bigler's probably going to claim most of these lands over here. So Imphenzia is probably behind on eco as well. I mean, he's got a bit up here, so he might actually be doing okay. But he won't be able to keep up with both of their ecos. So Bigler is on 300 capital per minute as income. Desiring Mars is on 470, so that's a total of 770. Imphenzia is on 520. Let's have a look at Antidote as well, because he's going to have to be pushed back quite a bit. It's 360, but Antidote doesn't have the ability to come over to the water anymore. It doesn't have any transport boats to cross it or any transport jets. So Imphenzia, for now, is on his own. With a lack of power, he's going to have to rely on power plants over there, building submarines, and it looks like a rocket silo has just come into play. He's trying to run a power plant, a rocket silo with just one power plant. Imphenzia keeps getting pushed back, and the defensive line here, although it seems great, you kind of want it behind this curve here. Because as they come through, they're going to catch these units off on a point, and that's actually going to weaken the defense. The cruisers here are actually a great situation to try and stop that. But if you place the defense here, you can get more units in, as well as forcing them through a tighter gap, allowing you to fire more directly into them. And I feel bad because I'm now actually trying to question the people who created this game. Imphenzia is the developer of Line War. One of them, there's two. The other one is Basantos. And I feel weird trying to suggest different things for Imphenzia. But he has actually done it now. He's moved his defense back. He's curving around this line here. Meaning any units coming through this gap are going to get hit by multiple angles. As long as the artillery can get into place, that is. Some of them are getting distracted by the barracks over there, so that may buy him a little bit of time. He's got 3 cruisers there, so that's going to be helpful. And it looks like Antidote tried to do an attack against these energy wells, but unfortunately couldn't quite get through. So it's all down to this. It looks like the last helicopter went down for Imphenzia, apart from the 2 that's actually on the airfield. One's being repaired still. They've only got 3 SAM units there. They probably shouldn't have it on the front line. Especially on a map where it's so sort of contested. You need to have your SAM at the back. And then continuously produce the artillery. If you keep producing artillery throughout the entire game, you're wasting eco. So if you have them at the back and keep them safe, and bring them forward whenever you need them, then you don't have to keep producing them, and you can focus more on artillery. As you can see, we've got another SAM there just going down. It is working as a meat shield for these guys, but that's what you have infantry for. They're a lot cheaper than SAM units. Imphenzia is bringing his units down now. I think that's just part of the plan anyway. It's just good timing. They're going to try and claim that territory, but there's also the artillery here that's strayed, so they're going to go for that. Although Antidote has the weakest economy right now, he's able to build a rocket, and it's already under construction. It might be a bit too late though. Imphenzia's under a lot of pressure here. But he does have a lot of the right units. There's no more SAMs anymore because they've pushed through the front lines. So these helicopters can pretty much tear up these artilleries. So I think Imphenzia does still have a chance. Especially if that rocket does come in time to destroy anything in the way. I think Imphenzia's got the defense here, but like only just, and only because of their lack of SAM. He could survive. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but either way, they are quite tightly collected there, and it looks like Desiring Mars's navy is running out of energy. He could start spending more on more energy to keep going with his navy, but at this point I would probably stop producing a navy, because you've got a decent sized navy. They're running out of energy, so any more is not going to help much. And if you turn them off, you'll spare up some eco for more land-based units, or to eco up over here. Let's put the commands back on. Okay, that's chaotic. I probably will just get them off. Put it onto one person. I'll take it off Antidote so we can see someone's plan. We're on Bigler over here. Antidote is still over here. He's got 2 power plants now and 2 sub-pens. He's bringing them forward. He's going to try and snipe one of these energy wells, I think. The helicopters over here are doing great. If Alpha Team had strayed off this way and was able to try and take out these energy wells, that could have been a really good win. Oh, and the rocket's coming in. And it goes straight for the structures. They ignore the army completely. And that nearly killed Bigler. He's only got 2 structures left before he built this one. I'm not sure that was placed in time. But that could have been devastating if those helicopters earlier had taken out these 2 structures. Then Bigler could have been out of the game at this point. Bigler's now only on 2 structures producing units. Will be 3 soon. The energy well does go down. The submarines have came in. And they've only got 2 Navy units defending it. We need to pull some of these units back. But he's trying to make sure Imphenzia doesn't get any further in. The support from the cruiser over here is doing really well at trying to pick off any units that come close to it. Now submarines are approaching this cruiser and they can't see the units, so they're getting free shots off against the cruiser. And he goes down, which means he can now pretty much just go for this energy well and take out Desiring Mars's energy supply. He does have one there and he's building another one over here, so it won't really stop him. But it does mean his energy is going to get hurt. Desiring Mars is going to chase him down with 4 cruisers, and everything else just died, so 4 cruisers it is. And Antidote is running away with these submarines. It might have been good to try and face them, but especially if they black smoke, as we just saw. But I don't think Antidote wanted to risk that. I think he just wants to try and do the hit and run tactics. Snipe what they can and run away. Imphenzia's helicopter swarm is actually building up. They've got 5 helicopters now, 6 ones on the way. 2 cruisers in this section now, so Imphenzia has successfully defended and is about to push back a little. Bigler is now putting SAM units on a circle command, keeping them behind. Desiring Mars is not willing to push forward on his own and is getting picked off as they pass through this area by the cruisers, which he's going to stop by sending his navy that way. But these helicopters have spotted that and they are on their way over here to try and tackle this navy. Make sure nothing else is going on. That rocket is nearly ready again, if not ready already. The helicopters land because the navy moved away, but now the navy's moving back. And they do have anti-air ships there. And before the helicopters can take off again, they take one of them out. That one's doing a weird dance. Now it goes down anyway. Another one goes down. They are falling out of the sky. 4th one goes down. 5th. There's only 2 helicopters left. This was Imphenzia's main advantage, in my opinion. And he's lost the majority of his air force, and they're going to land right next to the ocean as well, which is unfortunate because Imphenzia has no control over that. But Alpha Team was building up an army on this choke point here and has now just lost it to Antidote's rocket. And I think that's done it for Alpha Team. They are fed up with Antidote and they're going to check out this island and see what they can find. But Antidote has 2 groups of submarines. It looks like he's trying to coordinate an attack against both at the same time, but one of them does get spotted and they're going to chase them down. As they do, the other submarines come into this section here. We can see some black smoke already, but these submarines are going to take out an energy well, which means Desiring Mars is going to struggle even more, allowing these submarines to get away. They could even go round and get to this energy well before the Alpha Team can actually defend. Now that the rocket took out most of the army on the ground, Imphenzia is pushing forward with cruisers and the ground army of artillery and infantry. Desiring Mars seems to have taken over the ocean over here, or at least tried to. Imphenzia's got submarines and there are no destroyers here. So these submarines are going to be really effective against these, backed up by 1 cruiser. The cruisers can see the submarines, but they're quite damaged as it is, so I think they'll get a few kills, but I do think the red team will come out on top in the end, unless they keep kiting it. There's a submarine over there. They're trying to move out of the way. Or should I say in the way? It looks like he's going straight for that section there. Going to try and block their path and chase with his other units. Up in this section, another rocket's nearly ready. And the submarines there are blocking any reinforcements coming out from the red team's navy yards. And Imphenzia's pushing through this section over here. And these extra submarines have just taken out the navy there. The helicopters don't need to scout that area anymore. The navy can do it for them. Got a transport boat here that could be trying to take other islands. It looks like Desiring Mars has. They do control the majority of the map. But unfortunately don't control the island with all their structures on. It looks like Imphenzia is taking control of that pretty quickly. And there we go. They managed to actually win what was a losing battle originally. When you have a player get taken out so early on, admittedly he didn't leave, but having someone get destroyed, pushed back, and on a little island with almost no advantages, that simple rocket was able to sway the tide of war, even for Imphenzia, on his own against 2 players. So, well done guys, that was a brilliant game to watch. Thank you guys for watching, and feel free to click on one of the videos on screen right now. I will see you there. Thanks for watching.